Welcome, dear children. So, today I am going to teach you the sixth chapter of Moments, that is, Weathering the Storm in Erasma, which is written by Harsh Mander. So, introduction of author Harsh Mander was born on 17th of April 1955. He is still alive, is an Indian author, columnist, researcher, teacher, and social activist who works with survivors of mass violence and hunger, as well as homeless persons and street children. He is the director of the Center for Equity Studies, a research organization based in New Delhi. Theme of the chapter: this story is a true account of devastation caused by a super cyclone in Odisha. Now the new name is Odisha. In 1999, a young boy Prashant faced the fury of the storm and reached the village. The details of how he worked hard to help the villagers by showing leadership qualities helped the village to overcome the devastation caused by the storm, inspire us to have courage and a positive approach towards life. Sum and substance of the chapter. So on 27th of October 1999, Prashant, a young boy of 19, went to Erasma to his friend's house. Erasma is a small coastal town in Odisha which is 18 kilometers from his village. When the cyclone hit the coast of Odisha, Prashant was in Erasma. He went to his friend's house after 7 years of his mother's death. He just went to visit his friend. The cyclone continued for 2 days. It devastated the city of Erasma by bringing down all the houses and trees. That means the big trees were uprooted, the old trees were uprooted, so everywhere there was devastation. Everywhere could be seen. Whole area was village was fully devastated, and as such you people are very well aware that Odisha is a very cyclone prone area and every year it is hit by the flood. Prashant and his friend's family remained on the rooftops to save themselves since the whole area was the house was flooded with water. So to save themselves they went to the rooftop to take a savage and survived on the tender coconuts from the coconut trees that had fallen on the roof. As the rain stopped, Prashant left for his home as he feared the worst for his family. So since 2 days he were here in Erasma because the place was hit by the storm and he could not go out. So suddenly he started feeling for his family. All the bad thoughts was coming and he was really worried about his family. So as soon as the rain stopped, the water started to recede. Prashant decided to left for his home. He took a long sturdy stick and then started on the difficult journey to his village through the swollen flood water. That means still the water has not receded fully. Still there was swollen water. Swollen means still the water was there, flooded. The place was flooded with water. At places the water was waist deep, which slowed his journey. So at places the water was very deep, so that's why his journey was slowed down. At several points he lost the road and had to swim. So many places there were no roads, that the stick was doing that work only. He was helping him to find out the pit holes and all that. And at several places when he didn't find any road, he swam. On the way, he came across many human bodies and carcasses of dogs. Carcasses means dead bodies of dogs, goats, and cattle. But he could barely see a house standing while passing through the villages. That means all the houses in the village were wrecked, fully ruined. Eventually, Prashant reached his village, Kalikuda. He was depressed to see the widespread destruction everywhere. So, when he reached his village, he saw that each and every house was destroyed. There was devastation everywhere, fully devastated. So he was really worried. Now he started worrying about his heart went cold. So after seeing the devastation that each and every house were, none of the house was standing, each and every house has fallen down, he was really really worried about his family, that don't know what has happened to his family. He wept as he felt that he had lost his beloved ones. So he started crying because he was very very sure that, seeing the condition of the village, that his people, his family members won't be alive. He went to the Red Cross shelter in search of his family. So all the cyclone victims hit by the cyclones, they were given shelter in a Red Cross shelter home. So he just went to look for his family members. There Prashant met his maternal grandmother. She was elated to see him alive, as they had not expected that he would have survived the storm. See, it was the mutual one. He thought that his family members would have not survived the storm, and the family member was thinking that Prashant would not have survived the storm. But he was really happy to see his grandmother and his other relatives alive in that shelter home, and the same was the condition of his grandmother. She was really, really very happy and relieved to see Prashant back. Prashant saw a crowd of 2,500 people at the shelter. Many had lost their families in the disaster. They were grief stricken as the catastrophe had snatched everything. Still, they lost their family member, they lost their home, everything. So they were grief stricken. He came forward to arrange food and medicines for the victim. Then he saw that the condition of the shelter home was very very bad. There was no proper arrangement of food. Even for it was filthy, the people were doing vomiting there. So it was really, the condition was very very bad. So what he did, he came forward to arrange food and medicines for the victims. He also formed a group of youth and elders. He took the youth and elders from there, those 2,500 people. From there, he took the youth and the elders and he formed a group. They forced the merchant to give them the stock of rice, and they were successful. So the merchant, always we hear the merchant, he was not giving the stock, so they forced him to give the stock. In this way, he was able to arrange the food for the. Then he organized a team of youth volunteers to clean the shelter of filth, urine, vomit, and floating carcasses, and to tend to the wounds and fractures of the many who had been injured. So he and his team took good care of the people who has been hit by the cyclone and were taking shelter in the Red Cross shelter home. So he emerged as a leader there. He took the responsibility to help those people. On the fifth day, a military helicopter dropped some food parcels, but it did not return. Prashant and others devised a plan to attract the attention of the helicopter. They deputed children to lie around the shelter with the empty utensils on their stomachs to communicate to the passing helicopters that they were hungry. So the helicopter, on the fifth day, the helicopter came, dropped the food, and went away and didn't return back. So now, to convey this message that they are really in the need of food, Prashant and his team, what they did, they make the children lie down on the floor, and they asked them to keep their empty utensils on their stomach. So just to communicate to the people in the helicopter that they are really hungry and the food packets have to be dropped there. The plan was successful, and after that, the helicopter started dropping food packets and other basic needs. Prashant's rehabilitation work went on ceaselessly. He brought the orphaned children together and put up a polythene sheet shelter for them. He mobilized men and women to look after them with food and materials. So all the people, he started engaging the people in their work so that they forget what they had lost. So just to overcome their grief, he started involving them in some or the other work. So what he did, he brought all the orphan children. Then he gave them shelter and he asked the women and the men in the shelter home to take care of those children. He also persuaded the women to start working in the Food for Work program started by an NGO. So, an NGO started the program Food for Work. So, he asked the women of his village to get involved in that. So, that particular program was to cook food for the people who were hit by the storm and who has taken shelter. And for the children, he organized sports event to keep the children busy. He used to organize the sports events. Later, orphans were resettled in new foster families made up of childless widows and children without adult care. So first they were thinking what to do with the orphan children. So Prashant finally decided that instead of sending those children to orphanage, it is better to give those children to the childless widows, because in this way those women will take good care of the children because they don't have any children, so they will take good care of the children. So in this way the child will get the family and the widow will get a child, the childless widow will get a child. Thus, Prashant became the savior of thousands of cyclone affected people. His selfless service for the mankind is praiseworthy. So, see, after seeing the condition, like many people, those who have taken shelter, they were grief stricken, they had lost all the hope, everything. Prashant could have also done this, but he emerged as a leader. He decided to take out the people from that grief. He helped those people. See, he helped those orphan children, he helped those childless widows. In this way he made everyone happy. So he went there at the shelter home, he engaged everybody in some or the other work and helped them to come out of their grief. So all of us try to be like this, Hannah. It's a wonderful story. With this we come to the end of the chapter. See, kindly go through the chapter. I keep on repeating, this is just in summary. Don't depend on it only. Please read the chapter thoroughly. If you are not able to understand a single line, feel free to ask me. Till then, have a great day. Bye bye.